right, so we're going to talk about some hints on how to determine if it's one solution, no solution, or all solutions. So if you're given an equation, the first thing I want you to look at is your numbers, your coefficients with your variables. So we're going to underline these for you to see them. So on the example A, my number on the left side, just put a little while there, on the left side is negative 60x. Our coefficient's negative 60 with our x. On the right side, it's 32x. We don't have any other variables anywhere. Everything's been combined. It's simplified on each side. So there's no other x's on the left side, no other x's on the right side. So we're just comparing these two. If they are different, meaning they're not going to cancel out when we move them. We have one that's a negative, one that's a positive, so we know immediately they wouldn't cancel out and when we move them. And they have different coefficients. This is a 60, negative 60, and this is a positive 32. We know this is a one solution. Immediately we know that. That's all we have to look at. So let's look at B. If we look at our x's again here, we're looking at our coefficients. This is a negative 60. This is a negative 60. They're identical, so they're going to cancel out when we move them. So we'll go ahead and kind of pretend that they're gone, and then we're going to look and see what's left. What's left is a positive 32 and a negative 32. A positive 32 on this side and a negative 32 on this side are not the same. Okay, a positive number and its negative counterpart are not the same. Those are different things. They're not equal to each other. So this immediately is a no solution. That's not a true statement, so that's a no solution. Let's go to C. We have, first, we're going to look at our x's and see what's beside them. We have a negative 60 here and a negative 60 here. We know those are the same, so they're going to cancel out. They're on either side of the wall of the equation, so they're going to cancel out. And we look and see what's left. We have a positive 32 here, and we have a positive 32 here. 32 is equal to 32. That's a true statement, so this is an all solution. And we can write that with that infinity sign. All right, let's look at D. This one, we have to look a little closer because we notice here we have an x and an x on the side. Before we start comparing on either side, we need to simplify and combine any like terms. So I have a positive 8x and a negative 2x. When I put those together, I get 6x. Bring down my 3. So this is what I have on this side as a simplified expression. On this side, everything's already simplified, so I'm going to just rewrite it down here. Now we're going to look at our coefficients with our variables. One's a positive 6x and one's a negative 6x. They are not going to cancel. They're different ones. So that leads me to believe that is going to be a one solution. Now, anytime you're not really sure after you use these little tips, double check. So if I add 6x to move him over, add 6x, end up with 12x, bring down my 3, equals 3. Then I'm going to move over my 3, minus 3, minus 3. I end up with 12x here is equal to 0. Then I divide by my coefficient, divide by my coefficient. I get x equals, anytime I have 0 divided by something, it's 0. So there's my one solution. So I can tell when they do not cancel because they're not the same. They're not going to cancel. They're not the same sign. One's negative, one's positive. We're going to get a one solution.